Great crowd assembled tonight on a sunny Friday night in Reno, Nevada. Championship of the 18-year-old bracket, Triple Crown USA Nationals. Should be entertaining, and these people are here to see just that. Texas Bombers will have the bats to start this championship game. Fortenberry, Herzog, and Shao will be the first three, and all three committed to Texas A&M. So Joe Evans probably going to watch this first inning and see what shakes out in that first three. Hayden Parker, the cleanup batter, awaits if somebody gets aboard in the top of the first. Texas Bombers bat like that in this championship game. For Northwest Bullets, based out of Oregon, they play defense first. And Emily Sorum, a fan of history, would like to make a little bit of that tonight on CBS Sports Network. Emily Sorum, starting pitcher.
What a great opportunity for her to make some waves in the circle in this championship game. She throws fairly hard, low 60s, 62, 63. Curve, screw, rise, and then she's got a changeup. So, you know, her team, again, behind their pitching staff. They've been getting the runs when they need them. She just needs to hold off these Texas Bombers.
Pitch one of the championship game. We get underway in what we're looking forward to as a great matchup. And again, like our 16-year-old game earlier tonight, both the teams arriving here have done phenomenal things just to get to this point. And now to get a win in this game, another strong challenge. You see that For the Fallen on the front of the Bombers jersey of Kelby Fortenberry. Tell you a little more about that as we work into our game, but a great program, a great honor tradition that the Bombers have gotten involved with. For the Fallen, you see under the Bombers name on the front of the leadoff batter and the center fielder for Texas Bombers, Kelby Fortenberry. We saw Kelby a couple of weeks ago in Colorado playing in some of our featured games at Sparkler and Fireworks, one of our All-American players. Kelby's a phenomenal talent. We saw her along with the next two batters who are going to come to the plate. Commitments to Texas A&M in College Station. This ball knocked to center, had a little carry on it. Wind blowing from right to left, not out much, mostly across. Fortenberry, that ball seemed to jump a little bit more off the bat than first read out there in center field by Taylor Gunnish, but Gunnish not a problem to flag down out one. Now it's Mckenzie Herzog, the right fielder. So the first two batters in the order, the center fielder, right fielder, stepping in.
We've seen a couple of this pitches delivered by Sorum that have ridden in high and tight to these lefties. She's definitely not afraid to work that inside corner.
Mckenzie Herzog spends her spare time sleeping, listening to music. Here she's hustling down the line, and a wild throw bounces away. Good backup down the right field line. On base on the throwing error, Mckenzie Herzog. The speed forced the issue, and the throw went wild.
And great composure when fielding this ball. Gets on the short hop, has a gun over to first base, but just sails it over the head of Fillmore.
Morgan Spieth, the third base defender, picked it up and sent it high. It was Caitlin Sung in right field. That's just what you're supposed to do, but it really is noticeable when you do it right, because that's some damage, extra bases if Caitlin Sung doesn't work over from right field. That ball popped foul, third base side. Jumping effort by Morgan Spieth, but just a little too much on the pop away, and another chance for Samantha Shao. Samantha batting number 3 in the order, scheduled to pitch in this game for Texas Bombers. Takes a pitch up. 1-1 count. Fan of Twitter and Instagram, you can use hashtag IPlayTCS tonight. IPlayTCS is the hashtag to join in on social media. Snap to first, and the runner dives back in. Herzog back into the bag. Bullets catcher Tegan Cowles made that throw. It's a good look behind the plate. This ball gets up, good pitch, forces a pop up from the number 3 batter in the order, and a pop out, second out. McKenna Partain makes the catch at shortstop. There is that hashtag, I play TCS. Hashtag I play TCS is how you can get involved on social media tonight. Let us know who you're rooting for tonight or what player you're backing as you watch this game on CBS Sports Network. Or if you're watching it and texting somebody in the crowd tonight, tell them to use that hashtag I play TCS so you can get yourselves into the conversation. TCUSA Nationals have been hot topic on social media this week. And tonight, no different with this televised championship. Runner going, throw is to the right field side of the bag, and sliding in behind it successfully for a stolen base is Herzog. That's an important move up with 2 outs. Now a chance to score from second.
Well, and I like that decision to steal because you get that runner. Now she's over. Herzog is into scoring position. If she does happen to get gun out at second base, now you've got Parker up at the plate to lead off your second inning.
Hayden Parker wearing the number 99, the EP in this starting lineup for Texas Bombers. Bombers third base coach is Scott Smith. He's looking at Hayden Parker on a 2-1 count. First base coach Brent Price. James Fuquay, the other member of the 3-coach staff for the Bombers. Parker sends this over to the right side batting cages here at Hickson Park, the home of Nevada softball, University of Nevada Wolfpack. This is their home diamond we're playing on. A great facility for this championship game. Great dugouts, nice leaning rail. Full team helmet racks in there. Sunken dugouts. 220 to center and 200 to the corners. And an 8-foot fence here, so you gotta get a little height on it to get it out of here as well. And still the wind blowing stiffly from the right side to the left side, blowing across to the left. That ball stays down, and the number 4 batter in the order, that's Hayden Parker, drawing a walk. 2 aboard now with 2 outs for Riley Rodriguez. Riley, the DP in the order. So Hayden Parker, who just walked, the EP. Riley Rodriguez, the DP. Using all the various lineup options, the Bombers, in this championship game. Showing something to buy some space on the steal. The throw is in time, but it bounces away from the glove and safely in. Double steal with 2 outs. Sure, no intention to bunt, just a distraction square, and the steals work.
Well, what happens, though, is they do not get Spieth to come in too far. When you show that bunt, you expect your third baseman to crash in, and then it's a foot race between the runner and the shortstop. Didn't happen, but fortunately for the Bombers, Spieth wasn't able to handle that throw.
Comes the 0-1 pitch. That fake bunt show was a strike, and now another one called for an 0-2 count. The arm of Tegan Cowles has been pretty solid on both of these steal tries to second and to third. She was offline just a little bit on the throw to second. Now she was at the right field side or the first base side, which is where you want to go offline if you're going to go offline. Throw to third looked to be in time, but credit Mckenzie Herzog running the bases. She showed good speed down the line on that throwaway error on her batted ball, and now has moved herself to third base with a couple of steals. Fouled back, sitting on an 0-2 count. Riley Rodriguez, chance to get on the board right away here. Hits this, and it's deep and off the fence in left field. Couple of runs are scoring on the 2-out, 2 RBI double from Riley Rodriguez.
And really nice hitting here. That ball's on the outside corner, but that extension and that contact point out in front of her body allows her to get a lot of power over the left fielder, Jess McKay's head. Great clutch hitting situation there with 2 outs.
Like to see the big smile on the face of Riley Rodriguez. She's committed to University of Texas at San Antonio, UTSA. Riley, the double hitting, 2 RBI, creating number 5 batter in the order. And to be completely honest, the coaching staff and the fans of the Northwest Bullets know that they've opened the door a little bit here in the first inning. This couple of runs, the blemish against the Bullets didn't have to happen, but it's a championship game. I'm not going to go to the old jitters cliche, but they didn't get out of the box the way you might want to. They're going to have to get to the bats, but they got to get an out here first. Rodriguez out at second base, and Raquel Benavides, who plays third base defensively, bats number 6. That's where we're at in the order, in the top of the first for Texas Bombers. Aside from having the 4 of the Fallen honor that they're part of, Texas Bombers. Those are just some pretty sweet uniform tops, regardless of
I like
why.
them. I think they look good. They look sharp.
Camo look. Cool
And those
colors.
The flags on the shoulders really stand out.
Yeah, it's well, it's, you know, it's not wrong. I mean, anywhere you go, college level, pro level, give them the uni that a player loves putting on and feels good in. That's never a bad psychological idea. Good way to get your players excited about putting on that uniform. And the Bombers feeling good about this top of the first inning with 2 in, 1 on, 2 out. Raquel Benavides would be followed by Taryn Travieso. Taryn is on deck. That pitch works its way down through the zone for a strike. A 3-2 count. Big pitch there, staying in the count. Good work in the circle from Emily Sorum. And now Sorum, there's going to be a quick offensive timeout, so Sorum's going to get a chance to stop and think about this full count pitch. Her catcher Tegan Cowles heads out, and third base coach Scott Smith is going to have a chat with his second base runner Riley Rodriguez and his hitter Raquel Benavides. 3-2, 2 outs. Wondering, you know, you obviously not a force situation, so it's not an automatic runner in motion on 3-2, 2 outs, but I just wonder if there's some conversation there about let's get you moving. I think we're going to see a strike, and I think we're going to swing the bat, so let's have her moving.
Yeah, get your wheels on, but be smart. You don't want to be that third out either. You don't have to go.
Here comes the 3-2 pitch, 2 away, and it's a well-placed pitch from Emily Sorum. Couple runs score. Sorum able to close the door with a runner still in scoring position. And it was the big swing of Riley Rodriguez, batting number 5 spot. With 2 outs, she delivers. Ball to the fence, knocks in 2. Texas Bombers, after a half an inning, they're on top by 2. Bottom of the first inning now up. Texas Bombers playing defense. 2-0 is the score. What's that? Nachos? Yeah. Right?
That's what you got to do at the ballpark.
Yeah, my younger son Josh is sitting here. We might have to send him out for some nachos. The Northwest Bullets are coming to bat down by 2. They have Partain, Sung, and Fillmore to be followed by Morgan Spieth, the first 4 in the order. That's the batting order for Northwest Bullets of Oregon as they head into the offensive portion of their championship appearance. And for Texas Bombers, they play defense with a 2-run lead, and that's a great thing for the starting pitcher, the righty, Samantha Shao.
Well, and from Shao, we're going to see her throw pretty hard, mid-60s curve rise. She does have an off speed. This is her 3rd game she's throwing today. She's thrown 14 innings up to this point. So running a bit on fumes, but hey, when you're in the championship situation, you're just going to go out there, do your best, and leave it all on the field.
Here we go, bottom of 1, and a strike starts it off for Shao. McKenna Partain doesn't have to worry about that favorite movie today. It's 90 degrees around here. It's not going to be frozen anytime soon in the Reno, Tahoe area, but of course, we're close to some of the best skiing in the world up in the Lake Tahoe area. Just, what is that, 40? I think I did it in 38 minutes today, but that's probably not legal. I think it was 45 minutes to 60 minutes, depending on traffic, from right where we're at up to the Tahoe area, the Nevada-California state line, and beautiful Lake Tahoe, where part of this tournament is played. These teams here have played in Reno. The 18-year-olds have played in the Reno area all week. Golden Eagle Regional Park, a beautiful, fantastic, phenomenal facility of synthetic turf fields. What I lost count now, I think it's 12 or 13 softball diamonds that they play on over there is kind of the hub of the 18-year-old bracket. And we culminate at Hickson Park at the University of Nevada. A nice look at starting pitcher Samantha Shao. Texas Bombers gold, 2-2 count on the leadoff batter, McKenna Partain. Left side Partain, got to shoot this through the left side of the infield. Good finish to the at-bat. That's a great swing on a 2-2 pitch. Just sticking the barrel on the ball and shooting it through that 5-6 hole, and to business, the offense of the Bullets.
Great 2-strike hitting. That ball's middle outside, and she just puts her barrel on it. crushes it in the 5-6 hole. Hard on the ground is what you want to do.
There is McKenna Partain. You saw her on base, and she's out there for Caitlin Sung. Sung, the right fielder defensively. She backed up that throw earlier. We were talking about Sung playing right. Here this ball's going to sail and fly to the backstop. That pitch went wild, and that wind still blowing. It's been blowing right to left. I don't know if the wind actually got a hold of that pitch, but that thing took off and goes wild for a free base. We play the bottom of the first with Caitlin Sung, Brady Fillmore, Morgan Spieth, the number 4 batter. Figures to get a chance to hit now in this bottom of the first. Pitch misses for a 2-0 count. Katie Sung of Tualatin, Oregon. Katie hears a strike call in what she tells us in her right ear. She has an extra ear canal in her right ear. That's the one farther from the umpire right now, so she didn't have to hear that strike call double time in that double ear canal. Appreciate the players taking some time yesterday. These 18-year-old teams met with us last night and shared some information about themselves. That was one of the things Katie threw down on her information. And also this batter right here who's got a 2-2 count, Katie Sung. Look, you look at her, it doesn't look like she's going to physically dominate out there, but she has a state record in the deadlift. 2013, she set that 231 pounds. State record in Oregon in the deadlift, this batter. Oh, there's some power at the plate.
A lot of lower body power.
Ball sent foul. We are at the Triple Crown USA Nationals talking about the fields at Golden Eagle Regional Park, playing up in the Lake Tahoe area here at University of Nevada, and several other ball fields around the Reno Sparks area. Triple Crown Sports produces this event. We look forward next couple innings perhaps, getting a chance to have Dave King join us, the CEO of Triple Crown Sports. Founded the company about 30 years ago, based in Fort Collins, Colorado, and Dave King will join us coming up next inning on our championship broadcast of the 18-year-old division, Triple Crown USA Nationals. Good long at bat here. Bullets doing a good job right out of the box here on the bottom of one, answering that top of the first 2 runs. That ball's called foul. So good job finishing the play for the Bombers down at third base. It was Raquel Benavides, but the play is put to a stop. Going to throw another 2-2 pitch.
Yeah, you got to love when those athletes go all out on that ball on the line. And we mentioned in the game before, you don't want to leave that up to the umpire. You got to finish that play.
Slapping it straight back to that same area. Katie Sung puts another foul ball away. You saw a tap of the chest for Benavides. Looked like she said, "My bad." Like she felt like maybe she should have attacked it even a little more. She attacked that well, but I think she was saying I might have been able to keep that fair on that previous 2 pitches ago.
Well, it was a bit of a wild throw as well.
Yeah.
First baseman Travieso did a good job of picking that and keeping her foot on the base.
Yep, did not result in an out. It was a foul ball, and Katie Sung, along with a state record in deadlift in Oregon, she might set a Nevada state record for foul balls in an at-bat. He's building an impressive string of stay-alive pitches.
And you got to remember, Xiao's been out here now. This is her 15th inning of the day. 2 full games. She threw earlier today, prior to this one. So you've got to think she's feeling it a little bit on her arm. Maybe running on adrenaline at this point, but the longer at bats these Northwest Bullets can have, the more they make Xiao throw in the circle.
Xiao sends it in, and again, Sung sends it foul. And I didn't plan this necessarily. We talked about Katie Sung and her having, 2 ear canals in her right ear. As it turns out, we asked the players, when we talked to the players, we asked them, what's something we have to say about you on the webcast? And the pitcher, Samantha Xiao, said her left pupil smaller than her right pupil. So we got the different sized pupils against the double ear canal going at it right here in a 2-2 count. And again, that information reported by both the players. They said, yeah, talk about that. That's one of my things. That's what makes me unique. This is a pretty awesome at-bat, 52 miles per hour on that last offering. At this point as a pitcher, Amanda, do you, in your mind, do you figure, okay, I don't think I'm going to get a strikeout. This person is fouling everything I'm throwing away. And you just switch to what, ground ball pop-up, jam mode? I mean, you're still in the advantage in the count, but getting nothing by her.
Yeah, you just have to continue to fight and throw good pitches on the corners and mix them up. We haven't seen a ton on the inside corner. So you would think if you get her fishing outside, eventually at least set her up on that inside corner, you have one pitch to play with. Running it super tight, and then you can go back away if you want.
Katie Sung fouled away so many pitches they ran out of balls, so they were waiting to retrieve one. That was the slight delay. Working the outside edge. Xiao checks her runner, fakes the throw, and hangs up the runner. Heady defense from Xiao has got a rundown going. Sung is not heading to second base yet, and she's going to stay at first. A little base running mishap, perhaps, in a matter of a couple of mishaps there, as McKenna Partain wanted to take third after the look away by Xiao. Xiao picks her off the bag.
When Partain stayed in this rundown for a long time, she's fooled on this fake throw. Great job by Xiao, but this is a situation where Caitlin Sung needs to go and hang out by second base. Rundowns more times than not result in outs, so she needs to be able to hang out at second base. If Partain gets back to second, then you take off back towards first and you create a rundown of your own, but you want to keep that runner at second base.
And I love the karma there, the reward. The pitcher ends up making the put out. So Xiao gets into the rundown line, and it's Xiao who makes the tag out. This ball swung on, hit pretty well to center, but that'll settle up in the air and settle down for an out. No tag up chance. The fly ball will be out number 2. That was Brady Fillmore with the swing. Fillmore popped it out to center.
When we look back at that play, Xiao fielded this ground ball, and she knew what she was doing. She was trying to get that runner to fish off. She's an athlete out there. She throws that ball to third base ahead of the runner. That rundown is created. A lot of throws in this rundown. Typically, you want to get it done in maybe 2 throws. But Sung had plenty of time to get herself over to second base, and you could tell that she was kind of thinking about it, and it's intimidating to think you're running into where the ball is, but you've got to anticipate that out being made, and you want your runner to remain in scoring position.
Morgan Spieth batting. Morgan swings and misses in a pump of the fist behind the plate by catcher Joe Rivera. She loved the delivery on that particular pitch. Nailed it and got the strike. That rundown was a 1-5-4-1 in the book. This ball popped on the dirt. Shortstop positioning, and the out is recorded. It's Aisha Martinez who makes the catch, and the first is over. Bombers lead 2-0. Visit ghpins.com. GH Pins actually now based in the Houston area, so they're from the same country as the Texas Bombers, or state, I guess. I shouldn't always make my country reference.
It's a pretty big state.
I'm proud of that country. And we start at the top of the second with a swing, a miss, and the Texas Bombers will lead it off here with Taryn Travieso. Travieso leads off from the number 7 spot in the second inning. There is a 1-strike count incoming into a 2-strike count quickly on top of this at-bat. Thad Anderson, Amanda Freed with you from Reno, Nevada, University of Nevada, the Wolfpack softball field. We're joined by Dave King, CEO of Triple Crown Sports, in this second inning. He'll hang out with us for a couple. We'll learn more about both the U.S. club rankings that are used to build this event and this particular event, TCUSA Nationals. Ball to the gap, rolls to the track. 2 easy bases, stand-up double. Texas Bombers already lead by 2, and they've got a runner on 2, nobody down. Travieso, solid swing and a double, leads off the top of the second. That'll bring Brianna Angel to the plate. A runner is going to come on for Travieso. A timeout called, and going to be a conversation in the circle. And while that happens, we will get a chance to get Dave King in on this and we get some real brain power about this event. I know the build-up, this is the 4th year of the event. Dave, thanks for joining us. Welcome inside the booth, and we'll let you just go on your first thoughts on what's happened this week and the build of this TCUSA Nationals.
With just the matchups here, if you notice, this is the same effect that's happening in softball around the game. You've got a Northwest team and you've got a Texas team playing in a championship right at the back door of California in the West, and so you're seeing a change in the parity of the game that's immense as far as what it means to young girls wanting to play all over the place and be like the Californians. And so they have done a great job. Both of these programs, the Northwest Bullets, have great pitching, have tremendous bats. So I've been with them all week and watching them, and the Bombers are very similar. So it's good to see this kind of matchup come out of this event, this rankings event.
Brianna Angel looking at a 1-0 pitch. She's going to bunt it. Picked up fair. Sacrifice is in place. Moving over to third base is Travieso. Successful sacrifice bunt from Brianna Angel has a runner down to third with one out. Already that 2-run lead. Bombers going to work in the second inning. Dave, you mentioned the geographic spread of the talent, but I think what's interesting as you're saying that is at this level, these teams want to play the best, and at the college level, you're seeing so much that now too, where early in the season, these college teams test themselves against the highest of the high competition. That's sort of what's happening in youth ball now too, is teams seeking each other across the country. Well,
it doesn't do a team a lot of good to play a club that's substantially below their skill set, and so this event is a matchup of very similar skill sets, and so the majority of the rosters, whether it's the roster today and where these girls are going, or it's the rosters that aren't even here. I mean, we just played in the 7th place bracket with our team, the TC Stars, and we played against 7 Division I kids on both the last 2 ball games. And I mean, they're great ball players playing all over this tournament. Whether it's the Atlanta Vipers we just played or the Washington Lady Hawks or what you see out here in the Northwest Bullets. The Bullets are an exceptionally well-prepared, well-put-together team, and I would expect them to claw back into this game.
3-ball count, and a strike up in the top shelf will keep the count alive. Sticking in the count with the up pitch is Emily Sorum, pitching her second inning in this start for Northwest Bullets. Bullets head coach Tony Campos, Warren Hall, Shakara Lowe on the coaching staff. They're going to watch a walk issued and runners on the corners now with one out. Over at third base is Travieso, and Joe Rivera takes a walk to first. Another talk in the circle. Bullets is trying to get their traction here and hang on, get themselves through this top of the second. It's going to be Miranda Price scheduled to bat. Price was the next up. We're going to get a runner out at first base is what's going on this quick conversation. It's Kylie Deacock is going to take over as the runner at first. Deacock running, and there she is. Big smile on the face, helmet on the head. That's another beautiful thing about this event. You see a lot of smiles in the midst of hardy, heavy competition. A lot of smiling goes on.
Yeah. There's a lot of young ladies here that are extremely talented, well-prepared, and very humble in how they handle the sport. This is a humbling sport, so you don't walk around and see cocky, trash talk, that type of stuff. I think, Amanda, you understand that. Is that the game will give it back to you every single moment. It'll give you back way more grief than you would ever want in another game. And pretty soon you're 0 for 6 and you bobbled the ball. And so you're out of the mix.
I don't know if that ever happened to Amanda. I think you shocked her with the question. You know, Amanda Freed, who's with us, she's got the Olympic gold medal. She's got the 1999 National Championship at UCLA. We talked last game with Amanda about these players playing for this kind of, even with smiles on their faces. There's a lot going on in the heads here, and this is a big opportunity. This is a big stage.
This is new turf for the Bullets, and I would say that Scott Smith and the Bombers have been so close so many times to this stage, but the Bullets this is new space for them, and they've been beating people all year, and here they are, and so I would expect them to be shook up just a little bit by the environment, but they're a very, very good team. So when they settle in, they've got tremendous bats and good pitching.
Looking at a first and third with one away, trying to wiggle off of a threat by the Texas Bombers in the second inning. Bombers already struck for 2 in the first. We do want to, it's important for us to say this, and when we showed you that graphic at the start of the game, we said the top 3 in the order were committed to A&M. I want to double back on that. Mckenzie Herzog, that's not the case. She reported on Florida State to us. We had a little glitch in our graphic there, and one of the family members from the team from the Bombers came up and let us know, hey, we want to fix that. Right, that's important stuff. I mean, you got to have that right. Joe Evans would be happy to have her, but
and Lonnie would be very disappointed that she lost her at the tournament.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, exactly. That's an important news flash. That did not just happen here in Reno.
So Lonnie, you're good to go.
That's it. Just now go to dinner and enjoy yourself. You don't have to make another phone call or check on anybody. The 1-2 count and the top of the second with the Texas Bombers batting. Bombers' Miranda Price swings and misses. And before Miranda, she's heading off now, I did want to point out, Dave, Miranda's a player who played in that All-American game in Colorado, another great featured event the Triple Crown puts on. Here's that strikeout pitch. Miranda goes down here. Talented player and one of many who's experienced that All-American show on television with 60 kids in the dugouts. Another great experience for a young player to go through.
Yeah, that's a good environment to start someone to what happens. You know, you put these kids, that's
bunt down.
Bunt.
Safe at the plate. That was a tag play. Had to get the tag down and did not in time. 2 out, base hit, bunt, scores the run. 3-0 Bombers. Plating Taryn Travieso. That's a bold call from third.
Scott Smith takes the big stab to lay down the bunt. Surprise bunt with the defense back. And it works. So he looks smart.
That was a perfectly placed bunt. I mean, you don't have a play at first base. Your momentum at third base, Spieth is going all home, and there's really nothing you could have done about it. Great slide into home also. You try and go back door, and you're tagged, you're out.
Kelby Fortenberry, another kid who played in the All-American game in Colorado. She just put that bunt down, picked up an RBI. Runners now at first and second as Joe Rivera moved down to second base. And on to first goes Fortenberry. Strike called to start the at-bat for Mckenzie Herzog. Herzog scored one of the 2 runs in the first inning, reached on an error at third base, stole a couple of bases, and then scored the first run of the game. She's back in the box, Herzog. And this is Mckenzie, who we were just talking about, got a commitment to Florida State on her bio sheet that she filled out for us.
Thad, these teams are all here by rankings, and I know you've shown that. But it's a very important piece of the game. It's kind of like the BCS situation.
Shallow pop left field, and that will end the top of the second. Dave, when we come back in the bottom of the second, we're going to talk more about those rankings. We've got a little more information we can show, and that's a great point with this tournament we're in. We will talk more about the U.S. club rankings in the bottom of 2 and see if the Northwest Bullets can get on the board. They're down 3. Texas Bombers get 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and they lead at 3-0. Take a minute to pause and ponder that as we look at the name of one of those fallen soldiers, and tip of the cap first to the soldiers and their families, and somewhere down the line, as Scott Smith would have it, to the Bombers for what they do.
And he does that. He'll take those jerseys and he'll frame them and mount them and bring families out at every one of our tournaments and recognize them. Announce to the crowd what happened, where it happened, when it happened, and recognize the family and give the jersey out from the kid. It's just a moving event.
Yeah, I mean, a perspective moment when you step back and everybody gets pretty wrapped up in the competition of the tournament. And did I get a base hit? And all of a sudden, reality's on you. There's a diving play in right field. That is phenomenal. Highlight reel stuff out in right for the Bombers, laying out Mckenzie Herzog.
Well, Mckenzie Herzog just wants us to keep talking about her, and again, her commitment to Florida State, but they've got to be proud of this. All out for a ball that looks like it's going to clearly go into the gap for multiple bases. Snags it just before it hits the grass.
Impressive out number 1 of the bottom of the second. And this pitch rides in and is blasted foul down the third baseline. Tegan Cowles, the catcher for Northwest Bullets, is in the box. Maddie Hopper hit that ball well to right field. She got robbed on a great play out in right by Mckenzie Herzog. That's the way you keep a 0 on the board. Bullets haven't scored, and they would have had a couple of bags if that got down.
They've got tremendous right-hand bats on this team. If you watch these girls, I don't know where all of them are headed, but there's 4 or 5 gals here that just flat rake the ball. And I'm sure it's a coaching style, it's a collection of kids, but they're gonna do some damage before this is done. Samantha's a great pitcher, but it's gonna be a challenge for her.
This ball is going to get through. Solidly swung on. That's a great swing by Tegan Cowles. We've seen some good work behind the plate by Tegan. And now we see a single, the second hit of the game for the Northwest Bullets. They've got 1 on with 1 out. Dave, you were talking about the U.S. club rankings earlier, and here's a look at how that works in the 18-year-old realm. A national point system, 58% of the ranking, 40% to a national ballot, 2% college player index.
It's a blended system, which means we take 3 things into account to designate where the teams are at. And that way we don't run a massive
Wow, same slot. That same swing, same slot. First to third goes Cowles in safely, and that allows her teammate to move up behind. Good swing by Madison Cathcart, mirroring the swing of Cowles, and they are both on base, and they're both in scoring position, second and third positions after the Cathcart single. Amanda, that's great hitting back-to-back.
Well, you can tell a team's swinging the bat well when you're hitting the ball up the middle right side, and this team's doing that so well. And then to top it off, some aggressive base running, get their team to third and second base.
If you look at that point system again, Thad, you're going to see those three ingredients that make this thing up. And that allows the teams a chance for a peer vote, allows a chance for recognition of how they play in local tournaments, national tournaments, and credit for 2 seasons worth before we forecast them in this tournament. And then we seed them into this event into small double elimination tournaments, 8 of them. And then the top 2 teams come out of each of these double.
This pitch gets loose, passed ball, and standing up across the plate. First run in for Northwest Bullets. They cut the lead from 3-0 to 3-1 on a passed ball score by Tegan Cowles.
And so teams like the Northwest Bullets, for instance, they have just risen into the ranking system and are in the bottom 50 of the top 100, but they're obviously not there, and it shows you where they're coming to, where the Texas Bombers are in the top 20 of the ranking system, have been there. So in this event, you've got over 50 teams in the top 100 playing against each other in the country, and that represents here about 550 Division I players in just that audience of top 100 teams. And that's quite a collection of players that play this game.
Jess McKay hits a rocket to the left center gap to the fence. One hops the outfield wall and sends home another run. That is 3 in a row, and actually make it 4 in a row. Line out to start the game was a great catch in right, and then single, double.
And you're right, Dave. This team really has the ability to get it done at the plate, and it looks like they're starting to come through strong. Shao, a great pitcher, but very selective at bats here.
Yeah, and you know they don't have a ton of lefties on this lineup. They've got a lot of righties, and Shao's ball moves east to west, so it moves away from the right-handers the way she throws it. But these girls, you know, are going to go with her pitches, whatever she throws.
Working up in the zone, hangs a strike up with 1 out here. A couple of runs in for Northwest Bullets. The RBI double from Jess McKay, the left fielder, batting number 8. Now the 9 batter, Taylor Gunnish. She's the center fielder, and now batting Gunnish with a teammate out at second, and just 1 out. Puts down the bunt. Runner's going to move up. Defense makes their play. Good work by the third base defense of Raquel Benavides, and 2 outs. Runner on to third. Jess McKay bunt executed by Gunnish. 2 down, and that tying run waiting 60 feet away with 2 outs, bottom of 2. Dave, you said about the Bullets, you know, just getting to this stage and maybe they'll settle in. They're settling in. If they're getting traction by the bottom of 2, it's going to be a long battle with the Bombers, because they've righted themselves from the start of this game, and now they're looking like they've got it all rolling.
Well, you look, Scotty's on the mound. Scott Smith's on the mound right now, trying to see if they can figure something different out. But this is one of the good hitting teams in America, and I think they'll make noise in the other national championships that are left, whether it was with the ASA or Premier, the big 3 championships that are played each summer. And they're the kind of teams that make lots of noise. And so the Northwest Bullets is not on a lot of radars right now. And I'm going to tell you, I watched them two games yesterday come from the dark and just take care of great teams. NC Lady Lightning is a great team by Coach Korn, and they got him in ITB, international tiebreaker, and did a great job with it. So they're a very dangerous club.
Just we've got a whole herd of TC Stars players walking in front of us. They look familiar to you out there, right, Dave?
Yeah, this event, once we play the doubles and bring the people into championship, every person that gets kicked out of the doubles, every team goes into an individual single elimination bracket and gets more ball games against like competition. And so the club that I'm involved with, we just got to play the Atlanta Vipers and Washington Lady Hawks back-to-back, 2 top 25 teams in a lower single elimination bracket of this tournament, which were tremendous games, meaning we had a walk-off to win in the 7th to 1, and then we came back and got beat by Washington Ladies Hawks in a tiebreaker. So all the teams here get matchups that they don't get in their home state. They're things that they need to get ready for college.
And if you're out of the hunt for the big championship at this tournament, a lot of your players getting ready to go play college ball this fall. I mean, they're tuning up in a great way to head off to those college programs.
Yeah, this is a repetitive sport. A repetitive skill sport, meaning there's a lot of sports where you just kind of train and weight train and core train and then get ready. But diamond sports mean that you're going to, you know, if you're a baseball player, if you're good, they'll send you to another league in the fall and another league in the winter because it's repetitive skill. And so it's needed to be good at this sport.
2-2 pitch is fouled away. The at-bat here for McKenna Partain. She's the top of the order. They rolled it over here in the bottom of the second. Partain is back up there with her team down by a run and a tying run at third base. That is Jess McKay, who doubled, knocked in a run, hoping she can make her way to the plate and tie this thing after 2. Pitch stays down for a full count. 3-2, 2 outs. I've got a cookie. I'm gonna bribe Dave to maybe stay one more inning with us.
I would love to.
All right. Well, we're going to talk a little more. I want to talk a little bit more about a special trip you guys have that's not just about your club, but it's about another great way to shape players and to really go beyond the game. And we'll talk more about that in the third. Here's a payoff pitch. It's going to be a walk pitch. Down to first goes McKenna Partain. She singled in the first. She walks in the second and gives Caitlin Sung a chance. Caitlin with the 2 ear canals in her right ear. That's her back up here. She had, what was that, a 10, 11 pitch at bat in the first inning,
least.
fouling things off. Wound up on a fielder's choice. Ground out. That was that 1-5-4-1 run down put out that Xiao started back in the first inning. We're just in the second. This game, you can kind of feel this one might be one of those grinders, those long games. I know Dave, your tournament staff, and Krista Crawford, who runs this thing, has done a great job. They're probably kind of ready to get a drink and take a break, but everybody enjoys. They can play as long as they want tonight. Everybody enjoys a great capper like this. Feels like this one might be headed that direction.
Yeah, when you got 17 of the top 25 teams in the country here, loaded with the talent and the pitching and things that are going to show up at the College World Series around the corner, it's a very watchable good guy. Wow.
Nice play, running foul ground over the shoulder, backhand side. That will finish it. Bombers left field defense by Miranda Price. That ends the second. Northwest Bullets, more hits, but 1 fewer run. We're through 2. Dave, you've been talking about the talent here, and that's a summary of the top of the talent.
Well, you got 5 in the top 10, 9 in the 15, and 17 at 25, and those guys are having their hands full with the Bullets and teams just like the Bullets, and they are very talented teams. If you look at the game and where it's moving in the SEC and what they've done in the CWS, the College World Series, 211 players of 256 playing in the SEC are from a drive radius of the SEC. They're not West Coast kids. And the myth that's out there is that the talent is locked in one place. I did a study for Softball Magazine on this, and 42 of the top 55 all-conference players are from the region in the SEC, which was the dominant force in the actual CWS. And the majority of their pitchers come out of the SEC. So what you're seeing is talent is coming up everywhere in this game. Talent good enough to balance America out, and it's been led by the way the West has played the game, and the West is still the greatest place in the game, but it now has its counterpart in these new markets. In Texas with Texas A&M and feeding the SEC with its team is outstanding.
Rocket down the third base line. Scott Smith almost took some damage on the right kneecap. He dances out of the way of the Samantha Xiao swing. A beauty of the game right here is when you see a pitcher who is as good as Xiao is swinging the bat as well as Xiao swings. She's hitting 3-hole for her team and pitching.
I love that. A pitcher that can do everything, help herself out at the plate, keeps her involved, keeps her mind in the game at all times.
Ooh, sunlight.
Yeah, sun getting tough here at Hickson Park and handled in left field for the Bullets. Jessica McKay settles in.
Yeah, there's a good shot of it.
Yeah,
that's what they're looking at.
That's what you're seeing. Find a ball in that.
Yeah. Where is the yellow ball?
Texas Bombers leading this thing 3-2. They're in a battle right now. Xiao out number 1. Hayden Parker swings and has strike 1. Parker walked and scored in the first inning.
Big changeup pitch there. Probably time to set some rhythm on these guys. And I think you'll see Northwest Bullets here. They've got a repertoire of pitching, so I think you'll see 3 girls throw in this game. All of them have a little different look.
Yeah, we did talk about that actually with the head coach about today's game, and he split it, so they're fairly fresh, both of the pitchers that threw, whereas you're looking at the Texas Bombers, and they've got Xiao, who's thrown already 14 innings earlier today, and now she's going on to her 3rd complete game. So you got to wonder now that she's thrown a lot of pitches, is she going to start to get a little bit weird, you know?
You know, there's a myth in pitching that too many innings doesn't hurt girls, and the fact of the matter is eventually parts wear out, bodies wear out. And so in our game, we've got to be cognizant that when we have a number one that's that good, that we just don't, you know, run the distance because we can with them. And eventually hips and backs and legs and arms do eventually go. And with someone like her, she's young and she'll probably be able to weather it just fine. But there is a risk in it, in throwing too much. Where guys, we know we can't bring him back overhand. We just know it's not a possibility within a 4 or 5 day span.
Playing the top of the third, Texas Bombers ranked number 17 in the U.S. club rankings, and the surprise appearance, the 64th ranked team is looking at this ball sail, gone. First ball we've seen hit out of this park today in our TV games.
Number 99.
And that one is off the bat of the number 4 batter. It's Hayden Parker. Deep ball and a 4-2 lead. Bombers get the long ball from Hayden Parker.
Well, and this is not a small ballpark. 220 to center field, 8-foot-high fences. You've got to hit the
out of it.
the head on the nail. The nail on the head to get this ball out of the ballpark, which Parker absolutely does. Gets the ball up in the zone and just crushes it.
Wow, that was fun to watch. Right over the Wolfpack logo, left center. It's 200 down the lines, 220 to center. The wind blowing across right to left today. That wasn't really wind aided. That was just stud aided. That was somebody can swing the bat.
Having pitched against the young lady batting right now, she can do the same thing and follow. She's very, very capable of yanking one out of here right behind her.
So. Yeah, she didn't miss it by much. Her last time up, double for Riley Rodriguez, the number 5 batter, the DP. She doubled in the first with 2 RBI on that swing. Half of the runs produced so far for the Bombers off the bat of this batter, Riley Rodriguez.
You know, Thad, travel ball's an interesting sport because it's led by fathers and fundraisers and mothers and fundraisers to put their team out there, and they've gone through years. And a lot of them love the sport, but they love the adventure and the travel. And you were talking a little bit about what our club's getting ready to do. We're going to make a 17-day swing into Amsterdam and play against the Amsterdam teams, and then across Germany, and then on into Italy or Switzerland and Italy, because the game is growing. I mean, what's happening in the Netherlands right now is really, really good. Amanda, you've probably seen some of the Dutch players and what they're doing in the sport right now.
Well, absolutely, and I think it's led by a lot of what you're doing is just going out and introducing the highest level of play to these other countries who are just beginning to grow as we've been doing for a long time. And what a great experience for your players to be able to go out there also and teach and learn from these other athletes.
Pitching change is now initiated, so Northwest Bullets are moving a chess piece here. They're going to make a move in the circle. Morgan Ray will take over in the top of the third. 1 out, 1 on, 4-2 Texas Bombers. Don't want to let this one get away. Bullets showing enough offensively, enough grit. They're going to get back to the bats, but you can't let the run start running away from you. Run rule still in effect here. You just got to keep things every inning. You got to play it tight. So pitching change comes in now. Thad Anderson, Amanda Freed with Dave King, the CEO of Triple Crown Sports. Amanda, 2004 Olympic gold medalist, and I once saw Steve Martin in the airport. That's my claim to fame. I guess that's the only thing I got.
That's a good one.
But we all got our thing, right? That just happens to be mine. Dave, we appreciate you coming up here tonight. And I know we're going to try a little later in the game to talk to Krista Crawford, your event director. And
she's one of the best in the country, and I think these club teams will tell you that she knows the sport, she coaches the sport, she runs an event for them, about them, and she does it as professionally as you can, because we're in a business of running events, and it's the only business I know of that half of our customers go home losers. And so it's very difficult to keep all that in perspective when they come here. And Krista's one of the best, Thad.
And our commendations to Krista Crawford and the entire staff. And it takes, Krista would be the first to tell you, it's a bunch of other people who really keep things pushing along here. Krista would say she just smiles and waves, which isn't the case at all, but appreciative of all the work. I was up in the Lake Tahoe area this morning meeting with these 16-year-old teams who played earlier. Beautiful facilities up there.
Lots of big trees.
You already lose your breath because of altitude, and then you lose it again because the views up there. There's like zero oxygen for these players because of both being stunned and being at altitude.
And the ball really flies up there.
Yeah, fun to swing it up there. That's 16-year-olds play up in Tahoe, 14s and 18s featured around the Reno Sparks area. And among the things, as we check out this 1-out at bat, 1-1 count, the first batter faced by Morgan Ray, pitched down, kept up nicely behind the plate. Bullets don't give up a base on that. Catcher work by Tegan Cowles. And Morgan Ray throwing here. There's Cowles behind the plate. Love her look behind the dish. Love how she's playing the game. She does it right back there. Gets after it. Bombers working things together here. Raquel Benavides shows bunt and goes bunt. Runner stands up into the bag. Ball's loose, but there was some contact, and hopefully everybody's going to be all right. We're getting untangled. Now back to the feet. Looks like nobody's.
Somebody should have got down there probably to save a little collision.
Yeah, must not have been expecting the throw. And you just have to, Amanda, you just got to expect the throw, right? I mean, you can't go in assuming you're walking in safe.
Yeah, you got to slide hard into second base expecting that a team like the Bullets in this sort of situation are going to try and get you as the lead runner. And, you know, right there you can see it's close to causing an injury. Still shaking off the leg just a little bit going into that base late.
Taryn Travieso now swings big and misses strike one. Morgan Ray working to settle into the circle for Northwest Bullets against the first base defender for Texas Bombers, Taryn Travieso. Something else when you look at the approaches, Travieso swings and misses, but when you look, you talk about repetition and the level of ball we're seeing here, and just even the presence at the plate of these hitters, just the look on that profile shot of Travieso in the box. She knows what she's doing in there. She's honed her skills.
You know, this was a game that was kind of formed with the chop swing and a short swing, and it has that swing in it still for lefties, but the majority of these kids are now being trained by people that come right out of MLB or make slight modifications to swings from a baseball swing, because baseball doesn't see this kind of up pitch. And so the modifications just in the up pitch, but most of the fundamentals are identical. And you're going to see that that's been taught for 150 years. And these girls can swing a bat.
Yeah, I love watching them go at it. The current batter, Brianna Angel, is in. 14-year-old level, we do a Futures Championship broadcast at the Fireworks in Colorado, and that game always, every year, is one of the best games ever, competitively, skill-wise. Again, this year, the Futures Championship game just blows your mind. It's 14-year-old players out there going after it. All levels thriving right now, and this championship game, Texas Bombers in the top of the third. It's a 7-inning scheduled game. If we go the distance, Bombers up 4-2. That was a big strikeout for Morgan Ray moments ago. She just entered. She got Travieso. And now with Brianna Angel in on a 1-2 count, Ray could do some good things here, psychologically taking over in the circle and sending her team back to the bats.
A very important game for both of these programs, because it could possibly move them in the top 10 in America and leave them there for all the big tournaments. So this is a substantial event for, especially I know with Scott Smith and the Bombers, it's a substantial event. It's his moment in the championship. And for the Bullets, they'll arrive on the scene. So this is really a key thing for their programs and their clubs, because most of these teams have a feeder system of 16s, 14s, 12s, 10s, sometimes multiple 16s, multiple 14s underneath them, trying to emulate the older girls. Wow.
Morgan Ray, that was a good move by the Bullets coaching staff. Tony Campos and crew go to the pen, and they get a couple of big strikeouts, and they get through the middle of the third. So we're going to get a last couple of words with Dave King. Let him get back out in the sunshine where he prefers to be. Get some dirt on you out there by the ball field. I know that's what you love. There's a little look at what we're doing up here, and that's just part of the beauty of the event. Marty Tarr on his wave runner out there with his camera, getting things done on Lake Tahoe. This tournament over the years, this 18-year-old championship game, we've talked about the talent, and there's a look at who we've seen over the years. Firecrackers got a couple of wins and knocked out Corona Angels, and then Angels last year got their win in Georgia over a great EC Bullets team. East Cobb represented. That's what we've seen in 3 years, and we've got another good one going today, Dave. That's a nice early history of the event.
Yeah, and it's being as a fourth-year event to see a new winner step into the circle, and then I think the attendance, the event started in New York City in 2012, and we'll be back to New York City in 2017 or 16, and it has really become one of the stops in the girls' top travel ball circuit.
those past champions there. The 2014 game, Corona Angels. We were talking earlier, Amanda, about a walk-off, a squeeze-off bunt to end that. That game last year, top talent, Alexis Osorio pitching for Corona Angels. What'd she do this year?
Alabama.
SEC Freshman of the Year. But last year she was pitching in this same game. Kelly Barnhill going to go to Florida next year. She was pitching this game last year. And it was a 4-4 game into the 7th. And this happened. Squeeze. Marty Tyson pulls out the bravery and sends home the winning run on a squeeze-off. Corona Angels, after being sent away twice by Firecrackers in 12 and 13, they got the 14 championship. And Osorio and Barnhill, how about that for a starting pitcher matchup last year?
Well, those are the kind of kids that are considered for the junior national team all the time. Maybe on it, I don't know, in the future. And they are very, very good players. And just a good fortune. And these names tonight, they'll be in the same spot. You know, Shao and the pitchers for Northwest Bullets are very good.
Yeah, if I understand right, that's why Kelly Barnhill wasn't here this year with EC Bullets. She's off playing on the national scene, so that she would have had one more year in this event. She'll be at Florida in the fall. Florida back-to-back champions, the first to do that other than Pac-12, Arizona, UCLA, the only two other ever to go back-to-back. Now, Tim Walton's done that at Florida. Brady Fillmore starts us in the bottom of the third. Dave King's going to head back. Nachos, if you get a chance. Amanda's, you know, she's a couple months from delivering here. She needs to keep it fueled up there.
Well, you guys cheer these guys on to a great championship because I think, like this event has produced from every year that I've been with it, these are two great teams playing a great ball game for a championship that really does matter to them. So thank you, Thad, and thank you, Amanda, for including me in the booth.
Dave, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
That's Dave King, CEO of Triple Crown Sports. Amanda Friedge next to me. I'm Thad Anderson. We're having a good time in Reno, Nevada. And we're excited to see the stretch run of this championship. 4-2 into the bottom of the third. Just saw the recap of last year's championship game. And we had a 1-0 game in one of those championships a couple years back when the Firecrackers beat Corona Angels. We had a 5-4 last year. We've got a 4-2 right now. That pitch is up. Diving play at third from the knees, thrown away. Going to be an extra base at least. And down to second base will move the on base to get things going here. That's Brady Fillmore, who hit it well. Nicely played at third by Benavides, but she sent the throw wide.
Well, nice recovery, gets to her knees, and she does make a strong throw. It's just a bit errant to the right of first base, and as the first baseman, you really want to try to come off the base, prevent that from going by. You could see Fillmore makes her way over to second as a result of that throw.
Brady Fillmore plays first base, and she led it off. She's now right there at second base. Sunshine from the right side of the field, making it tough on that left side defense. And that will bring Morgan Spieth to the plate. Tomorrow, 6 Eastern. Join us for arena football action. The Orlando Predators look to continue their push for a South Division crown. They face the Cleveland Gladiators, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. That's tomorrow, 6 o'clock. Orlando, Cleveland, arena football on CBS Sports Network. Quick adjustment defensively. This ball, first pitch swinging, is blasted to the gap again. Extra bases, run coming home. It's a 4-3 score. Stand up double, solid barrel, and a rocket off the bat of Morgan Spieth, knocking in Brady Fillmore.
And on the first pitch that she sees, also doesn't waste any time, gets that pitch up in the zone, squares up, drives it into left center field. And I'm very impressed by the Bullets for coming back after that long defensive inning, wasting no time getting it back done on offense.
So now the 4-3 count. We're not just trying to, sometimes you just falsely build up excitement or this might be a close game. It's just, whether it ends up being one or not, it feels like these teams are just going to keep slugging away. And this ball is going to be loose and a free move up. I mentioned defensive adjustment. There was a brief time out there, and I don't think anything got changed, but Raquel Benavides, I think she added, I don't know if she added the visor or the glasses or something, but sun beaming over there right after that error. There's a quick little shuffle, and I think they're trying to find a way. Now she takes the glasses off, trying to get the right feel for how to see the ball off the bat.
Yeah, if you're not used to wearing glasses, it's difficult to put them on in the middle of an inning and deal with the difference in depth perception and just overall view through the lenses. So she's going to opt to shield with her glove, and hopefully that visor can do enough.
Here comes a 2-1 pitch. Lost that one up high. Held on a little bit. Got out of the zone. 3-1 count now. Northwest Bullets in a great position here with nobody out yet in the bottom of the third, and that tying run already around to third base. Ball lifted against the sun of left field. Tag up from third is going to work. Sacrifice fly. Maddie Hopper sent it out. That move up on the pass ball pays off. Good move up from Morgan Spieth after her double. Got to third and now tags and scores on the Hopper sac fly.
Great distance on this hit. It's a tag all the way. It is deep enough. Nice hold, nice tag. Great sacrifice fly.
Error to start the inning. Put a runner on second. Double traded places. A move up on a wild or a pass ball and then a sac fly. That's how they built the 2 runs here to quickly tie it in this bottom of the third. Northwest Bullets now sitting even and a chance to surge ahead in the bottom of the third. We've got Tegan Cowles, their catcher, singled for the first time up and scored. Looking down in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Joe Rivera. One pitch. Showing bunt and leaning out over the plate. Ball rides in. Cowles waits to make sure she's given the base, and she is. Cowles hit by a pitch on the show of the bunt.
She shows bunt and she is leaning a little bit, but she does try to get out of the way. Hits her back right thigh.
And that's what Scott Smith is checking on. Texas Bombers wanted just to hear a little more about the interpretation of this.
Well, let's see how far she is leaning over. That left foot's in the box. Her thigh is as well. So the correct call on the awarded base.
Runner checks in. Courtesy runner for the catcher, Macy Besowin. Besowin now running at first base. There you see the 6 on Macy's back. She will stand out there with Madison Cathcart, left side batter. And that's one of those moments, if you're fresh off the bench, you're Macy Besowin, you got the powerful lefty hitting right towards you. You gotta be a little careful getting off the bag. You know, when you're coming down the third base line with a righty, at least you can lead off foul and you're okay if it hits you. Here, you get the displeasure if you get hit. You're also going to be out because you're going to be in fair ground.
I don't think you're okay if it hits you if you're in foul or fair territory.
Well, at least your team is.
Right.
They can replace you with a runner if you had to.
You have to be very heads up on the base paths.
Now a 2-0 count. Cathcart. Samantha Shao continues working her third inning here. And is this going to be it? Scott Smith. Well, we talked to him about that. Dave King asked him what he thought Samantha had. She has put in some fantastic work at the Triple Crown USA Nationals. We'll see if she's done or not. There's a couple of defensive tweaks going on, it looked like. Maybe getting ready to make a change. We're seeing Taryn Travieso. Looks like she headed out to right field. And now that's the first main one I'm seeing. We've also got Riley Rodriguez taking over at first base, the DP Rodriguez. Here comes Shao's pitch, still in the circle after the conversation. Going to stay at it. So it's Cowles hit by pitch. Runner Besowin with 1 out. Cathcart looks at ball 4. A couple of runners on for Jessica McKay. hit by pitch and a walk consecutively. It was an error, a double, a sac fly, and now hit by pitch walk. Jessica McKay, who doubled, knocked in a run in the second inning for the Northwest Bullets. This ball chopped to short, takes the tag option at short and nowhere else to get an out. The lead runner is retired. So the Bombers will grab the out in the middle of the diamond. That's Alyssa Martinez. Alyssa Martinez playing the D.
Great heads up play here with the tag, getting the runner going by. The best play would have been to go immediately to second base to get that force out, but that hesitation and look over at first just allowed a little too much time.
There's Alyssa Martinez working against that sun. Now we've got a runner change out at second base. That was Madison Cathcart out there. And she's going to step away for Bailey Weiskiver. Weiskiver now running at second with 2 outs. Weiskiver a little more speed out at second. Anything hit here, you're thinking 2 bags. A single is going to be an attempt to go second to home, I'm thinking, with the speed inserted. Cathcart, the DP. She was the runner. And Bailey Weiskiver, she is the runner. Verifying that fact, Weiskiver will have the bag at 2, and Jessica McKay has the running duties at first base after her fielder's choice. And for the Northwest Bullets, they're not messing around here. They're getting everybody a little exposure. Pinch hitter Katie Habril. Habril batting in Taylor Gunnish's spot, the number 9 spot in the order. Katie Habril takes this AB with 2 outs, bottom of the 3rd. Strike called, ball popped away. Funny looking finish on that pitch, but nobody able to move up. Shao works herself to a 1-1 count. There is Weiskiver, the runner. Bailey out of Roseburg, Oregon. Ball inside down.
And with that defensive change just a minute ago by the Bombers pulling Herzog out of right field. And I was talking to head coach Scott Smith earlier. He was saying she is their next pitcher in line, their go-to. And we talked about the innings that Shao has thrown today. This is her 3rd game. So Herzog coming out and is warming up in the bullpen.
Samantha Shao trying to get the signs from the dugout, looking against the sun. She's got the call, 3-1 pitch, missed inside. A lot of trouble this inning, a hit by pitch and a couple of walks. 2 runs in so far for Northwest Bullets, and they're not done. It's a long inning. Defense standing around out there for quite a stretch of time. Sometimes you can get a little bit on your heels with this long of a wait. Bullets still working the scorecard after the pinch hit by Habril. They walk to Habril. She's going to yield first base. And re-entering is Taylor Gunnish. So Gunnish takes back her spot after letting the at-bat of Habril play out. Now a pitching change. So Northwest Bullets are going to try to finish off some runs here. They've got 2 in, they've got 2 out, they've got 3 on. And we're tied at 4. There is the pitching change. Four score, bottom of the 3rd. Lucas Oil Racing Pro 4 and Pro Buggy returns for round 6. Join us. Kyle Leduc looks to secure a 5th consecutive round win in his quest to become this year's champion of the Off-Road Racing Series. Sunday, 8 Eastern, right here on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports Pro 4 and Pro Buggy, the Lucas Oil Off-Road Racing Series. See the mask on the ground, and we saw Samantha Shao also sporting the headgear. That's You're definitely not seeing it 50% of the time, but seeing a pretty fair amount of that. Bombers, both pitchers so far in this game have donned the mask.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's not uncommon to see in our game, especially to be worn by a pitcher or perhaps the corners. The ball's coming off the bats extremely quickly these days, so it's all in the comfort of the pitcher.
Interesting for Herzog. I've seen this a couple times at the college level this year too. They warm up with it off and then put it on. I would think warm up with it on, practice like you play.
Yeah.
But again, it's a feel thing. I mean, you just said that.
Yeah, it's a feel thing. I agree,
in.
though. I think that you definitely need to practice the way that you plan on playing. And some pitchers maybe practice enough with it that they feel like, hey, it's hot out. I can take it off for a couple of pitches. I'll be fine. But you really want to get yourself accustomed to wearing it if it's something that you're going to do regularly.
Pitch one from Mckenzie Herzog is ball one to McKenna Partain. At the top of the order now, Northwest Bullets. Strike levels the count.
And Herzog really only warmed up for, what, 5 minutes maybe? It's warm outside, so you don't need as much, but it's a good story for a lot of young pitchers to see that you always need to make sure that you're prepared and have different levels of warm-ups. You don't always get your 30-minute warm-up before a game. When you're into a situation like this championship game, you need to learn how to have a 5-minute warm-up and be prepared to get things done in the circle.
Mckenzie Herzog now behind in this count 3-1. Mckenzie said, when we asked the question, any other sports you play, she put in all capital letters softball was the other sport she plays when she's not playing softball. All about the game. Ball allowed to go through, and everybody's safe. Looked like the decision there. Bombers defense. Raquel Benavides, I think she thought she was going to have a hard time making it out, so she's going to yield the ball to the shortstop, Alyssa Martinez, but that decision costs a run, and the lead goes to the Bullets.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was the sun or if it was just a decision not to field this ball with 2 outs. Third base, you cut off anything that you can get. Your momentum's going entirely towards first base. And that ball appeared to be well within her reach to make an easy out.
But Bailey Weiskiver scored on the play. McKay moved to third. Gunish to second. And Partain on what ends up being scored a single and an RBI. Partain on. Caitlin Sung, the number 2 batter in the order, chops this past third through the hole. And another run comes home. Northwest Bullets, after they got some benefit of hit by pitch and a walk down in the lower part of the order, now just chipping a few runs on the board, up by 2.
And another ball similarly hit. And these lefties doing a nice job of just putting the ball in play, and they're looking for that 5-6 hole.
Brady Fillmore flew out to center, reached on an error and scored in this inning. It batted around. This ball gets loose. Wild pitch through the 5-hole. Goalie through the legs, and that ball loose. Another run comes home. Hayden Parker is taken over behind the plate. That ball in the dirt. Parker not able to find a way. A wild pitch sails through. Home comes Gunish. Runners move up to second and third. Partain at third now. Sung at second. They're both coming home on this drive from Brady Fillmore. Gap double, thinking about 3. She'll pull up at 2. Now is going to take advantage if anything sloppy happened. But that's a clean smoke double to left center field. 2 more across. Partain and Sung score.
Well, we knew the Bullets had it in them, that offensive power, and we're starting to see it now. Fillmore drives a deep ball into right or left center field, scoring 2 more runs, and the Bombers are just having a hard time getting this final out of the inning.
11th batter of the inning to come to the plate is Morgan Spieth. Bouncing pitch, this time blocked, and the runner not able to move up. Fillmore stays at second base. Morgan Spieth sitting on a 1-1 count with couple of outs. Those 2 outs came on the 3rd and 4th hitters in this inning. One of them was a force out between 2nd and 3rd, but the first 2 at-bats, or the first 2 to come to the plate, scored, and then it was a sac fly to the 3rd batter. The 4th batter, Cowles, was forced out between 2nd and 3rd. And now another runner on. It's actually 7 in a row. This ball popped, and with her back to the plate instead of the infield, that ball bounces off the glove of the catcher, Hayden Parker. And this, for the Bombers, has turned into a nightmare here in the 3rd inning.
And this ball is hit high enough. We really want one of your corners to take control. It's difficult for the catcher to make this play with the spin and the angle that they're looking up at the ball. If you're a first baseman or third baseman, you can call your catcher off. Take control of that ball.
Eight batters in a row have reached base. After that sac fly, the only extra out was a fielder's choice. Force out between 2nd and 3rd. He said having a hard time getting that 3rd out. This is one of those where you're just hoping somebody hits a laser right into somebody's glove before they can even think about it. Bombers are in a mess right now. Down 10-4. Bullets were down 4-2 when this inning started. They've thrown 8 runs on the board. 11 batters, now 12 batters, and that walk is the 12th batter who's been at the plate. 13th batter of the inning now coming to the plate. First base coach for Northwest Bullets, Warren Hall, talking to Maddie Hopper, who just drew the walk. Back to Tegan Cowles. Tegan was hit by a pitch in this inning. She'll bat again. This ball bounces in and hits the batter. That pitch was well short. Herzog left it short, bounced it, and got the leg of Cowles. She's on base.
And not many things going right for the Bombers right now. No opportunity for Cowles to even move out of the way of that pitch.
Madison Cathcart will bat. And everybody in the park knows, and the Bombers know best themselves, a mess here. They've inflicted a lot of this upon themselves in this inning. They've got to find a way to get out. This ball blooped over the bag at second. Couple of runs are coming home. Throw to third. Safe. Couple runners in on the bloop single from Madison Cathcart. 2 more across for Northwest Bullets. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. There's an 8-run rule after 5, and all of a sudden they were trailing 4-2 when this half inning started. Now they put themselves in position with a couple of innings of defense to run rule their way to a championship at the TCUSA Nationals. And of course, guarantee you, we talked about it earlier, this week at the TCUSA Nationals, Texas Bombers Gold have played fantastic softball. And they'll be the first to tell you they picked a horrible time to have a disastrous inning, but this team has earned their way in this championship game. And I don't know if it's running out of gas, mojo for the Bullets, obviously some missed execution, a few defensive plays left out there, and some free bases on walks and hit by pitch. But the Bombers, I hate to see this happen to them this inning because of how well they have played this week against the top competition from across the country.
I agree. And this tournament is set up to where you really can't go to sleep during this tournament if you want to get to this point. So they have definitely been getting it done on all sides of the field. And you just, when you get to this point in the tournament, you want everything to go right. And for the Bombers, it just is not happening right now. So they've got a lot of work to do when they get back in the dugout.
Yeah, we saw them put up 4 runs between the first, well, in the first 3 innings. I guess they got 2 in the first, 1 in the second, and there was 1 in the third. So they've gotten the 4 up there, and in doing that, they looked good at the plate, the Bombers. They have a nice approach. They've got some power. They've got a lot of weapons. Not done. We're in the 3rd inning of a 7-inning ball game, but the deflation at this point, there's a swing miss. Ball got down, so they have to throw that out, just making it a little harder on that 3rd out. It wasn't going to come easy, but the Bombers finally put an end to the bottom of the third inning. 15 came to the plate in that half inning for Northwest Bullets, and they blow on top 12-4. Twelve to 4, Northwest Bullets. 10 runs in the bottom of the third. They lead by 8 as we get the fourth inning started. Texas Bombers batting. Hashtag IPlayTCS is the social media tag for all Triple Crown events. Use hashtag IPlayTCS. Get in the game. Stay connected with Triple Crown Sports social media with that hashtag IPlayTCS. Northwest Bullets. Morgan Ray came in the top of the third. That was about a day and a half ago, it seems. That's a long sit in the dugout for Morgan Ray. She might have gone down and thrown. I didn't happen to look over there. She might have gone down and thrown a little bullpen somewhere in the middle of all that, because that's a long time to sit and wait between pitching innings.
That would have been a good idea to get on throw. That's the toughest thing as a pitcher, is just to keep a pulse on yourself and the length of the inning. You want to cheer your teammates on, but you also have to make sure that you stay ready and warm for those long innings.
Well, she came out with a couple of strikes, so showing no ill effects of the long sit. Through ball one there for a 1-2 count. Swing and a miss. Quick work by Morgan Ray of the first batter of the top of the fourth.
And a nice spot down in the zone, middle inside corner. And you see the downward chopping swing by Rivera. So it's a nice location to combat that.
Joe Rivera led off the top of the fourth with that strikeout. Miranda Price now to the batter's box. Miranda softly to first base, unassisted on the pickup and step out. Brady Fillmore made the play. Miranda Price, who just grounded out. We were talking about her earlier, playing in one of our televised All-American games. She said her proudest moment, hitting a double in one of those televised All-American games. I've enjoyed watching Miranda. She'll be a 2016 high school grad, so she's still got another year. We might get a chance to see her again as Miranda plays out her club days. Lamar University is her collegiate choice. Back in the dugout. Bombers trying to stay in it. They're down by 8. Everybody in the ballpark knows you can do a lot in a little bit of time, but Bombers first psychologically have to get to really believing that and then start the surge.
They started off this game very strong offensively. I mean, they look to be clearly the team with the edge coming into this game, but that made a quick and violent turn last half inning.
Quiet. Quick and violent, is that the combo?
Quick and violent.
Swing and a strikeout at the top of the order. Kelby Fortenberry, the #1 batter in the order, fooled by that pitch. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Morgan Ray. The long sit did not bother her. 2 strikeouts sandwiched around a dribbler of a ground ball, and it's still 12-4 Northwest Bullets, which Tony Campos with Northwest Bullets. And Amanda, how about Randall's Island in New York City? It's like a 6,700, no, it's like 30-some ball fields, whatever the heck thing that is. Next year, that's where it'll be. That's another memory maker for these players.
Yeah, it sounds like a wonderful opportunity. And when we were talking about memories earlier at this level, those are what the memories really are built around, is the team camaraderie, the travel opportunities, staying in the hotels, experiencing different places, and the girls having an opportunity to come here to Reno and then possibly to New York. I mean, they're going to look back on these experiences in their career as probably their fondest.
Texas Bombers playing defense. They're trailing by 8. And once you get to college, you got to balance your books and your travel, and it's a lot of fun and memories and cool places to see. But that's a little different than the New York City trip next year, isn't it? I mean, you got a few more things going on that you got to manage on the road.
Yeah, I like that the teams, when they come into places like this, they really do allow the girls to experience the culture of the place and to get out and do fun things along with play competitive softball, because that's really what it's all about.
Well, that event, the way it's built, there's actually part of the event entry builds in some sightseeing and some of the sights and sounds, Broadway and Statue of Liberty and Rockefeller Center and all those different things. So it's a cultural experience. Dave King was talking earlier about taking his club over to Europe. Obviously a gigantic cultural experience. And you see so many college programs doing that now too, the international travel. We've been doing it for a while, but a great way to really broaden out, round out a young person. See a little more than just the diamond. Swing, miss, strikeout. And one away in the bottom of the 4th inning. Gunish strikes out. That's back-to-back strikeouts from the pitching of Mckenzie Herzog. But before that, a whole bunch of damage was done. Herzog grabbing back some control here now. Getting a couple of strikeouts, one to end the 3rd and one to start the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order returns now with McKenna Partain in. That pitch to a 1-1 count. One out, bottom of 4, and a 1-1 count. Northwest Bullets, they wouldn't mind a little insurance right here. They've got an 8-run margin. That's the minimum margin for the run rule in the 5th. Wouldn't hurt them to put up 1 or 2, and they get something that could feed into that. Good swing. The top of the order return to the plate there, McKenna Partain. She's got her 3rd hit of the championship game. 3 singles along with a walk in this game.
Well, we've seen a nice swing out of Partain today, as well as a lot of the Northwest Bullets, but this ball just squared up, hit opposite field, and we talked about that earlier. When a team's swinging the bat well, you see a lot of balls hit solid up the middle and opposite sides, seeing the ball deep.
Caitlin Sung, her patented foul ball left side. She shows off the spoil swing again, sends one toward the parking lot. Caitlin Sung is back in the box with 1 out, 1 on, and Brady Fillmore on deck. Bunt from Sung, and good decision to let that roll foul. Nobody was going to be out if that was played fair, so Benavides smartly let that get foul. Strike on the board against Sung makes it 0-2. Thad Anderson, Amanda Freed with you. Caitlin Sung right there waiting to get back in the box. And we just grabbed a quick cameo, anonymous, not anonymous, but a quick, walking by celebrity appearance. Krista Crawford is the director of the Triple Crown USA Nationals. And if for no other reason, there's a swing and an offer and a strikeout. Sung is down. Another case, so that's 3 of the last 4 batters struck out by Mckenzie Herzog. Krista Crawford, we saw you going by. We just thought we had Dave King on here earlier. And all I'm going to tell you is he said this on national television, on CBS Sports Network. I mentioned Krista Crawford runs this event. He said, best in the country, best at what she does.
Wow.
Your comments on that?
Thanks, Dave. Well, he's the best boss in the world, so I take that as a compliment for sure.
Well, this is a very nice sharing of emotional moments.
Absolutely.
Here.
This pitch is wild, gets off the glove and to the backstop down to second base. That insurance run now at second with 2 outs for Brady Fillmore. Bottom of the 4th, Bullets up 8. Can they tack 1 more on with 2 down? Krista, as we're working this 2-out at bat and a 2-0 count, just wanted to, if nothing else, we've talked a lot about the way the event's structured. This pitch is down for a 3-0 count. And I've mentioned a few times how much staff and just the overall effort it takes. And congratulations to you on another great year. I'm sure you're excited about New York City next year. It's a great place to do this. This year's event, your staff and all the pieces that make this work, the facility, hosts, the lodging, all that. I know you probably like to get a word out about those people.
Absolutely. The city of Reno and Sparks and the community effort that we have in North Lake Tahoe is just off the charts. We use 44 different fields. This year we have fields in Gardnerville as well. So 44 different fields, and everybody really has to pull together. The staff that we have out here is just amazing as well.
There is that insurance run on a rope single from Brady Fillmore. Her 3rd RBI of the game, had a couple last inning, and there drives in McKenna Partain. It's 13-4. Northwest Bullets now up by 9.
So we just have an amazing support from all the staff that we have out here. We have 35 different staffers that come in. Only 4 of those were local. So lots of flights, lots of rental cars, and then a lot of our our umpires came in from out of town as well. We have 10 local, which makes 90 from out of state. So it's pretty massive, but everybody comes together and pulls it off.
Morgan Spieth is batting. Morgan, the number 4 batter in the order with 2 outs, takes the ball. We were talking to Dave earlier about the TC Stars 18-year-old team, and it's actually your squad. So you set the event up, come and run the event, and coach at the same time.
Yes.
Okay, and then sleep next week or in a month, or how's that work?
Absolutely. Sleep next week.
And that's always next week, right?
Yeah, because we have something
next week
else
never
coming up.
comes.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, you've done a great job with this, and we appreciate the chance to come and document just a couple of the games. Roughly how many total games have you played here?
We have about 860 games that we play for the whole tournament. So all full 7-inning games. We don't have any time limit games, so it's a lot of games that we play out here.
Walk pitch to Morgan Spieth, puts 2 on with 2 down, and Maddie Hopper takes her turn back in the box. Maddie, the second base defender for Northwest Bullets, batting in the 5 spot. Hopper back in, looking for an out here. Mckenzie Herzog has dialed up the strikeout of late. Could use 1 or just a ground ball, anything to get out of this inning. Don't let this get going here against the Bombers. They're down by 9. They're going to have to score 2 in the top of the 5th to keep this game alive with the run rule in effect. Scott Smith of the Bombers in his dugout. Got a runner coming on for Northwest Bullets. That's going to be Sarah Vaughn on, number 4, running at first base for Northwest Bullets. Any other, you've gone, to New York City, to Reno, Tahoe, to Georgia, to Reno, Tahoe, back to New York City with this event. As far as next year and what teams, if they're thinking about this experience, what would you tell them about the event itself, but also your location for next year?
Absolutely. 31 ball fields in one location right outside of Manhattan. Just an unforgettable experience for the girls to be in a place like New York City. Every single year that we take a team out there, they just have a blast. And it's one of the tournaments that they'll never forget because going to New York is unforgettable. That's one of the things that they always remember.
Now, you're the event director. Can I go ahead and sign up right now to go next year?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Me too.
All right.
We'll have TV. We'll have TV.
Let's do that. All right. We'll look forward to that. And, of course, on CBS Sports Network is where we are. We did that in New York City a few years ago. It's where the headquarters is for CBS Sports Network. So I know our friends there who support the event, they were glad just to sort of jump in a cab or get on the subway and make their way over to Randall's. And that's one of the great things about that event is the players experience sort of the city transportation and not only the sightseeing and all that, but the life, sort of the pulse of the city.
Yes, they get to go to Broadway, lots of different options for them to do there. And the girls are just, most of the time they come to these big tournaments, they travel all summer long and they don't really get to do anything fun. So our format allows them to play from 8 to 5 like it's a job, and then they get to have fun at night. So
we were just talking to Bullets head coach Tony Campos. He said we're going to get Bullets on Broadway next year. He said they're planning to get themselves out there.
Awesome.
So you already got that. You got that in the works.
1 signed up. That's good.
We got the 1. That's a start.
That's a start.
There's got to be a first.
And if it's champion, it's not a bad one to have.
That's right.
The defenders.
Returning champions coming back.
Best to have them back. Here is a pinch hit opportunity for Emily Preble. Bases are full. Fillmore third, Spieth second, Hopper at first, and Emily Preble now batting. Preble steps in. And your perspective on this, you know these teams well, Krista. This game, Bombers were up 4-2. Bullets, gigantic inning, sent 15 batters to the plate, scored 10 times. We were talking about the fact the Bombers have played fantastic ball this week. That's unfortunate for them that inning happened because they've really, and the Bullets as well, have really played to get to this point, the last 2 standing in this 18-year-old bracket. You had to be on top of everything this week. And they
Absolutely.
were.
Yeah, you can't have any bad games and make it to this game right here. So the Bombers got put into the losers bracket in their first bracket early, and so they had to play a lot more than the Bullets did. And this game is all about pitching. So, when your pitchers have to work that hard to fight back in, it's challenging. And, I was talking to Scott before the game started, and he's very excited to be here, but he knew what he was going into, and he's down a pitcher. So he was just hoping to give him a good ball game. So I think they've done well, and they should be proud of themselves.
Emily Preble, the batter. You saw she's committed to Lehigh University. I had a chance to cover Lehigh in the Oklahoma Regional this year. Lehigh was there with Texas A&M and Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas coaching staff here also recruiting. And Lehigh, Fran Troy and their head coach. What a great opportunity for Preble to go play college ball, and what a great chance for her to come and pinch hit and drive in 2. High five from her first base coach, down there getting some celebration out of Warren Hall, and Preble gets in on the act, tallying it up now to 15 runs across the plate for Northwest Bullets.
And again, with the Bombers just trying to get themselves out of this inning so they can get back in the dugout and start to produce a little bit offensively. They need now to overcome more runs than they thought in order to force another couple of innings in this game. But right now, everything's seeming to fall for the Bullets.
And a pitching change. Kylie Deacock is going to take over in the circle. Kylie now getting her warm-up pitches in. Whatever your game, softball, basketball, baseball, volleyball, treat your team right. Destination locations, signature memories, professional staff. Get in the game at triplecrownsports.com. That's where you can find information on the Triple Crown USA Nationals to be played in New York City next year. triplecrownsports.com. Softball, basketball, baseball, volleyball. We see Dave King down on the field, checking in again with Scott Smith down there. Just the situation we're faced with now is because of the length of this game and the inning length the Bullets have put on. There are no lights here at Hickson Park at University of Nevada. It looks like the run rule is going to be kicked in, but if the Bullets hit for another 20 or 30 minutes here, they might just burn this thing out in the fourth. The run rule, of course, is 8 after 5, so we're hoping to get another chance for the Bombers to bat, but daylight fading in Reno, and they're having a hard time getting out, the Bombers. They're down 15-4 now. Well, Krista, we're going to let you get back to your efforts. I know we're going to be closing out. I know you and I are going to be out putting some windscreens and some buckets here in a minute, getting a little dirty and sweaty together. So, yeah, right. Amanda will come down. Amanda's only 7 months pregnant. She can join us, right? So, last thought from you before we let you go. We appreciate you coming up, talking to us a little bit. Congratulations on a great week, and we'll give you the last word.
Thank you. I just, I think Triple Crown Sports does it right, and we really do care about our customers and the feedback they give us. So we just appreciate all the support and people coming out to play with us. And, I couldn't travel and do all this stuff without my amazing husband. So thanks to Scott for letting me have this amazing job and be away for so long.
And I didn't say judge once, did I?
You did not.
Crawford.
Good job.
So if you knew Krista as Krista Judge, this is the same, but now she's Krista Crawford. But apparently, Scott, your husband, still calls you KJ.
He does.
Even though you're KC now. So congratulations on the wedding and on a good week.
Thank you. Thanks, Thad.
Krista Crawford, the event director for the TCUSA Nationals. And the Texas Bombers have their third pitcher of the game going in the circle, trying to get this out, down by 11. They would have to go on the board 3 times, or make it 4 times. And so they'll, Northwest Bullets are going to try to close it out in the top of 5 with a clean inning. They've still got a chance to put a little more up on the tally. Still batting. It's amazing. The third and fourth inning here, the third inning in particular, Northwest Bullets. Dave King was talking earlier about them being a sort of an arriving program now, an arriving club who's really going to step into the sort of the spotlight, and they have done nothing but show us why in this game.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about how they haven't been on this stage a whole lot as of recent. They're kind of a rising program and waiting to settle in, and it took them, 2 innings to start to settle in, but I think they've found their home on this championship stage, and they're feeling pretty comfortable. Some
alums of the Northwest Bullets program, Alyssa Gillespie, Oregon Duck, pitch down in the dirt. Runners moving on the 3-2 pitch. Nicely blocked behind the plate for the Bombers. Good work to stay in the dirt by Hayden Parker, but everybody's going to move up 1 base on the walk. Load them up with 2 down. We mentioned Alyssa Gillespie at Oregon, also Haley Decker at Oregon out of the Northwest Bullets program. Alyssa Masters, Portland State. Shay Nelson at Portland State. Sam Shanahan, Penn State. Courtney Clayton, UTEP. Sarah Dominguez at Seattle. And Katie Finch at Cal, Berkeley. That's some of the many accomplished alums of the Northwest Bullets program. And here's a future alum. I guess that means a current player, right, if you're a future alum. Pinch hitting chance for Macy Besowin. Macy ran earlier as a pinch runner. Here she's going to watch a wild pitch bounce through, and a run comes across. Besowin will stand back as Maddie Hopper scores. Another run for Northwest Bullets. Teams got to town Monday. Tuesday started play. Coaches meeting on Tuesday night at Circus Circus. That's where a bunch of our TV crew will be tonight over at Circus Circus, checking out the trapeze acts and casino available for those who do that kind of thing. my luck's bad enough, I'll play the soda machine one time. I'll win something.
At least you put your money in, you get something
Something's
back.
shot out of there.
Hopefully.
17-4. Just looked at the score again on the screen, and it kind of shocked me. This is a complete triumphant finish for Northwest Bullets. Their 2009 top 5 finish at Gold Nationals. Top 12 finish at PGF among the highlights for the Bullets. Coach Tony Campos said this finish here at TCS Nationals is going to be right up there on their list of big moments in the program's history, and they're doing it in definitive style. Tony Campos, a fuel operations specialist for Safeway Albertson Corporation, is his, I would say, day job, but you know, most coaches, it's just the job when everything fit in around softball. Might be night, might be weekends, might be day, but that's the core line of work for Tony Campos. Warren Hall, a delivery driver. Shakira Lowe, vendor set up at Nike. This ball knocked through the infield. Pinch hit successful. Macy Besowin sends another couple to the plate. 2 RBI for Besowin, scoring a pair of Bullets teammates. 19 runs on the board.
Well, a really nice swing from Besowin. Keeps her hands inside, drives it up the middle. And we're going to see another pitching change from the Texas Bombers. Looks like they're going to go back to Shaw.
That'll be back to the original starter now, Samantha Shaw. Try to have her get them one out. Bombers, you know, knowing the way we talked about their For the Fallen initiative, had Coach Scott Smith tell us about that. We know the class and the dignity and the bigger picture that this program really founds itself on, and it'd be interesting to hear the post-game conversation, because I would highly doubt it's going to be some kind of a dressing down, a what the heck just happened. It's going to be, what do you do with this kind of adversity, and where do you go next? So the Bombers are going to try to get themselves one out, and they're going to get a chance to swing as long as they end this quickly enough that things can still be seen out there as the sun sets behind the mountains here in Reno. Macy Besowin, who just singled that run in, 2016 high school grad. She's over at first base, the only runner aboard right now for Northwest Bullets. There is Macy out of Hillsboro, Oregon. Family, mom, dad, Bobby, Marty, Tyler, Ava, all made the trip, and they got a chance to see Macy get what potentially could be the last hit and last couple of RBI of this big victory lap for Northwest Bullets in the championship game. The way it's been going, we might see a few more base hits before this out's recorded. Taylor Gunnish swings it, sends that high right along the left field line, and that ends the bottom of the 4th inning at 19-4. Another burst from Northwest Bullets. Northwest Bullets 19 runs on 13 hits, leading by 15. This is the closeout inning, top of the 5th. Run rule is firmly in their sights. Bullets up by a big 15 in the top of 5. If you love softball, you want Softball Magazine, hard-hitting editorials, tips and columns from the sport's top players and coaches, new product features, player and team spotlight. Softball Magazine at softballmag.com. Thanks to Softball Magazine for their involvement in Triple Crown softball events. This is the last summer televised game for Triple Crown Sports. Triple Crown also produces the women's NIT college basketball preseason and postseason tournaments. Baylor, the headline team in the women's NIT college basketball in November, and the men's Cancun Challenge basketball tournament in Mexico. Those will be Triple Crown events on CBS Sports Network in November of this year. Bunt to start it off, safe at first. Getting a little creative and resourceful. Mckenzie Herzog bunts her way aboard to lead off the top of 5.
When I like Herzog's approach at the plate, she knows all her team needs at this point are base runners, and a lot of them, to get themselves into those RBI situations. So really well-placed bunt to the right side of pitcher Ray. And wheels it down to first.
Good call. Down the first base line. Timmy Cooper over there handling first base duties. Robert Vitabel, now in the middle of the infield, the third base umpire. Brad Ferguson, our plate umpire in this game. This ball chopped softly to first and an unassisted out for the Bullets. Taking that and stepping on it, Brady Fillmore. And still going at it, Morgan Ray pitched in the top of the third, got a couple of big outs right before her team exploded. And now pitching change for just an opportunity moment is what I'd imagine here. Bullets are going to change it up in the circle. Send in Kelsey Brodis. Brodis, the lefty, is going to have the honor of working these last couple of outs for Northwest Bullets.
Brodis going out there again to give the Bombers a different look. They were hoping to get some kind of a rhythm at the plate. Now you're throwing a hard-throwing lefty with some spin. You're gonna have to figure out a different approach and figure it out quick.
Kelsey Brodis, 2016 high school grad, committed to Boise State for her college experience. Favorite fast pitch player, Kat Osterman.
A little lefty pitcher inspiration.
Kelsey also a cross-country runner. Never been stung by a bee. Maybe we can work that in. We see what that's her unique fact about herself. Never been stung by a bee. Maybe we can deploy one right now just to make a memory. First ever bee sting on TV while closing out. Is this a save opportunity, by the way, up 15? Come on, let's get it. I think we should bet it.
Well,
statistically, I'm going with it.
You're stretching it.
Kelsey told us plays fast pitch for a pretty simple reason. Loves the game. And that's a simple comment. At the same time, we were talking about recruiting earlier, and yeah, that might be ingredient number one before anything else. You love the game, and you love the reps, you love the practices, you love the routine and the ritual of it. And that's what Kelsey says keeps bringing her back. Get a chance to finish off here in the top of the fifth. Her team up 19-4.
And I think when athletes say they love the game, it's very evident in the way that they play and the way that they carry themselves and the type of teammate that they are. And we'd heard earlier from the head coach from Nevada how important those intangibles are, being a good teammate, the hustle, the things that don't show in your physical play, but the things that a coach looks for in order to be a good teammate and somebody they think can perform at that next level.
Hayden Parker batting. Campbell is her college future, Hayden Parker. Hayden walked in the first inning and scored and destroyed a home run ball in the third inning. That was the fourth run, and that is the last time they scored was on that Parker home run shot. She walks here in the fifth. Riley Rodriguez now bats.
The Bullets infield playing fairly deep, the outfield playing deep also. Just trying to keep the ball in front.
Ball hit hard to right field, throw over the top at first base, had an outside chance of getting the runner down the line. Rodriguez, she's safe on a rocket single, bases loaded. And that was a heck of a throw to the plate. Honestly, not sure if that was a try for first or a try to home, but either way, a low throw, a laser in. And everybody's going to hold up. Bases are full on the solid swing from Rodriguez. That in right field is Katie Sung, who made that throw. We talked about her having that state record in Oregon for deadlifting. She also showed off quite an arm there with the laser throw. The pink bow on the right side of your screen is sung. There's another look at that rocket in. Look at this, right over the head of first base.
Yeah, very
Dead
nice
on.
throw on line. You could see how it just followed that foul line. And her momentum was taking her towards the right field line, so great job of changing momentum and holding a runner. And you've got to admire the Bombers' fight here in the 5th inning, knowing this is their last opportunity and quite a few runs to have to overcome to prolong the game.
Taylor Gunnish in center field and Macy Besowin in left field. That 3 outfielder meeting you saw a moment ago, that was the 3 players on your screen. And now the Bombers batter with an 0-1 count. After that foul off, bases full. Taking a 1-1 count to Raquel Benavides. Benavides batting the number 6 spot. To be followed by Taryn Travieso. Just double checking, seeing what kind of moves might be made here in this 5th. Looks like Travieso is the on deck batter right now, so she's going to take her spot. Raquel Benavides. See there, commitment to Florida State University. I'm going to give a shout out to her brother Andrew, who's made her the ball player she is today. Thankful to have him as a big brother. Helped her both be a great ball player and person, is a credit she gives to. She said, why don't you puncture? I love it.
Oh.
We got all that done. Raquel, appreciate you taking a minute to send those good thoughts across to Andrew. Would like to be a college softball coach when she moves on down the line, Raquel. Hails from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Nobody's complaining at this point.
Northwest Bullets 19 runs on 13 hits, leading by 15. This is the closeout inning, top of the 5th. Run rule is firmly in their sights. Bullets up by a big 15 in the top of 5. If you love softball, you want Softball Magazine, hard-hitting editorials, tips and columns from the sport's top players and coaches, new product features, player and team spotlight. Softball Magazine at softballmag.com. Thanks to Softball Magazine for their involvement in Triple Crown softball events.
Mckenzie Herzog.
This is the last summer televised game for Triple Crown Sports. Triple Crown also produces the women's NIT college basketball preseason and postseason tournaments. Baylor, the headline team in the women's NIT college basketball in November, and the men's Cancun Challenge basketball tournament in Mexico. Those will be Triple Crown events on CBS Sports Network in November of this year. Bunt to start it off, safe at first. Getting a little creative and resourceful. Mckenzie Herzog bunts her way aboard to lead off the top of 5.
When I like Herzog's approach at the plate, she knows all her team needs at this point are base runners, and a lot of them, to get themselves into those RBI situations. So really well-placed bunt to the right side of pitcher Ray. And wheels it down to first.
Good call. Down the first base line. It's Tony Cooper over there handling first base duties. Robert Vitabel, now in the middle of the infield, the third base umpire. Brad Ferguson, our plate umpire in this game. This ball chopped softly to first, and an unassisted out for the Bullets. Taking that and stepping on it, Brady Fillmore. And still going at it, Morgan Ray pitched in the top of the 3rd, got a couple of big outs right before her team exploded, and now pitching change for just an opportunity moment is what I'd imagine here. Bullets are going to change it up in the circle, send in Kelsey Brodis. Brodis, the lefty, is going to have the honor of working these last couple of outs for Northwest Bullets.
Brodis going out there again to give the Bombers a different look. They were hoping to get some kind of a rhythm at the plate. Now you're throwing a hard-throwing lefty with some spin. You're gonna have to figure out a different approach and figure it out quick.
Kelsey Brodis, 2016 high school grad, committed to Boise State for her college experience. Favorite fast pitch player, Kat Osterman.
A little lefty pitcher inspiration.
Kelsey also a cross-country runner. Never been stung by a bee. Maybe we can work that in. We see what that's her unique fact about herself. Never been stung by a bee. Maybe we can deploy one right now just to make a memory. First ever bee sting on TV while closing out. Is this a save opportunity, by the way, up 15? Come on, let's get it. I think we should let it.
Well,
statistically, I'm going with it.
You're stretching it.
Kelsey told us plays fast pitch for a pretty simple reason. Loves the game. And that's a simple comment. At the same time, we were talking about recruiting earlier, and yeah, that might be ingredient number one before anything else. You love the game, and you love the reps, you love the practices, you love the routine and the ritual of it. And that's what Kelsey says keeps bringing her back. Get a chance to finish off here in the top of the fifth. Her team up 19-4.
And I think when athletes say they love the game, it's very evident in the way that they play and the way that they carry themselves and the type of teammate that they are. And we'd heard earlier from the head coach from Nevada how important those intangibles are, being a good teammate, the hustle, the things that don't show in your physical play, but the things that a coach looks for in order to be a good teammate and somebody they think can perform at that next level.
Hayden Parker batting. Campbell is her college future, Hayden Parker. Hayden walked in the first inning and scored and destroyed a home run ball in the third inning. That was the fourth run, and that is the last time they scored was on that Parker home run shot. She walks here in the fifth. Riley Rodriguez now bats.
The Bullets infield playing fairly deep, the outfield playing deep also. Just trying to keep the ball in front.
Ball hit hard to right field, throw over the top at first base, had an outside chance of getting the runner down the line. Rodriguez, she's safe on a rocket single, bases loaded. And that was a heck of a throw to the plate. Honestly, not sure if that was a try for first or a try to home, but either way, a low throw, a laser in. And everybody's going to hold up. Bases are full on the solid swing from Rodriguez. That in right field is Katie Sung, who made that throw. We talked about her having that state record in Oregon for deadlifting. She also showed off quite an arm there with the laser throw. The pink bow on the right side of your screen is Sung. There's another look at that rocket in. Look at this right over the head of first base.
Yeah, very nice throw on line. You could see how it just followed that foul line. And her momentum was taking her towards the right field line, so great job of changing momentum and holding a runner. And you've got to admire the Bombers' fight here in the fifth inning, knowing this is their last opportunity and quite a few runs to have to overcome to prolong the game.
Taylor Gunnish in center field and Macy Bessawin in left field. That three outfielder meeting you saw a moment ago. That was the three players on your screen. And now the Bombers batter with an 0-1 count. After that foul off, bases full. Taking a 1-1 count to Raquel Benavides. Benavides batting the number 6 spot. To be followed by Taryn Travieso. Just double checking, seeing what kind of moves might be made here in this fifth. Looks like Travieso is the on deck batter right now, so she's going to take her spot. Raquel Benavides. See there, commitment to Florida State University. I want to give a shout out to her brother Andrew, who's made her the ball player she is today. Thankful to have him as a big brother. Helped her both be a great ball player and person is a credit she gives to brother Andrew. She said, why don't you punctuate that with I love him.
Oh.
We got all that done. Raquel, appreciate you taking a minute to send those good thoughts across to older brother Andrew. Would like to be a college softball coach when she moves on down the line, Raquel. Hails from Corpus Christi, Texas. It's a good swing on that 2-2 pitch, and she'll see another 2-2 delivery. Thad Anderson, Amanda Freed with you from Hickson Park, the athletic campus of University of Nevada. Wolfpack home field. Bases full with one away. This is last shot here for the Bombers. They'd have to do a bunch of work here to keep this thing alive. They have to get all the way to 12 runs here this inning to not let a run rule be invoked. I doubt that was the rallying cry, was let's get that many. It was probably just everybody go have a good at-bat, finish with a good feeling, finish with the kind of effort that you're known for and that you always put in.
Yeah, and this isn't the end of their season either. There's still some summer left, so they just want to end on a good note and get a little bit of momentum, even if just within their own team, if it doesn't result in a championship, but just get a little bit of a good taste back in their mouth for what they've done all week long.
And knowing these players and the coaching staff, and in a very respectful way, I would imagine that their thoughts are, we'd like to see the Northwest Bullets again somewhere else this summer, get another chance just to show them a better round of competition and battle with them the way we know we can. Kelsey Brodis, the lefty, sends a 3-2 pitch, and that'll send in a run. Bases loaded walk to Benavides. Keeps him loaded and at least hash marks another one to make it a 5-run output to this point by Texas Bombers. First pitch swinging. Taryn Travieso. She is backed by Brianna Angel in the on-deck circle. A couple of lefties. Lefty Taryn Travieso, 0-1 pitch coming from Brodis. It's an important block right there. Doing good work behind the plate for the Bullets. Emily Preble took over at catcher. Very fundamental, solid block. Replace the feet with the knees and get the chest protector down there. I'd never actually got a chance to throw it out, but Tegan Cowell's the starting catcher for Northwest Bullets. She, on her catcher's chest protector, she had the Batman logo on there. Her nickname is Batman. I think you actually saw that on her chest protector. She had a Batman shield out there. She's been replaced by Preble behind the plate. So Amanda, we had a chance in the spring. You and I caught a series and worked a series together for Pac-12 Network at Utah. And I know you made the rounds in the Pac-12 this year. You've been involved in some training and some coaching and keeping the game flowing. That's a strike on the offer and a strikeout on the go-around. So I know I was going to ask you what you have next. I would completely understand if was it October due date? Is that correct? So I'm hoping you're going to lay down for a little while.
Probably next.
Good. I was curious what you had, because I know you keep yourself moving.
I do. It makes the time pass by, and yeah, it's my recipe for pregnancy is just keep moving.
Active kids come out of that.
Yes.
They're just used to being on the move too. So I know Addie, your young one who's waiting on the arrival of the sibling, is Addie's got some energy.
Addie has a lot of energy right now.
It's not what you need, right? You could use
I could use a little bit
more.
of relaxation, but I'll take it. She's fun.
2 outs after the strikeout from Brodis. She got the offer from Travieso, and it's Brianna Angel. Again, our thanks to our production crew today. Great work on the camera offerings from around the diamond today, and all of our crew who's worked hard to get these 2 games up and going in the earlier hot temperatures of Reno. Cooled off quite a bit this afternoon. Curtis Lorenz directing us through the looks, and Marty Tarr, our producer. Our whole crew, thank you for what you're doing. I usually don't mention one other crew member, but a guy named Bill Chamberlain, who is our tech manager, who's become like my traveling Swiss Army knife. He's the guy who pretty much makes everything happen everywhere we go. And thanks to Bill Chamberlain, Alliance Productions, for his commendable and always humble, low-key, unruffled efforts. That is, in the business of TV, there's a lot of ruffling, and I don't think Bill has a single ruffle anywhere in his being. So thanks to Bill Chamberlain for what he's doing. Of course, he's probably out there freaking out on somebody right now and pounding the wall.
Not even paying attention to all the praise that he's getting.
Right at the wrong time when I said that. That's not true. I don't think Bill has that available. 2 outs, 3-2 pitch. Is this the end of this championship game? It's not. A walk-in, and another run comes home. Runners are on the move, so quickly across the plate from third base was Hayden Parker. Second run of the inning. And a 19-6 score. Interesting when you get our 16-year-old game tonight was an extra inning duel, a battle. It was a 5-0 lead, and then a 5-5 tie, and then a 6-5 decision, and a highly entertaining game that was contested hotly throughout the entire course of it. The Oklahoma exclusive Gold got the win in 9 innings in the 16-year-old championship game. Iron sharpens iron in that case, and you kind of see here in this game both teams sort of eased off a little bit. Now you're seeing the bullets not going out. They probably would have liked to clean 1, 2, 3, but everybody's kind of like if you're water skiing and the boat slows down, you just kind of slowly fade into the water. That's kind of how this thing came to it's coming down the home stretch. These 2 teams, like you're talking about, still some season left. They're going to crank it up and go play high-level ball. I look forward to seeing them on the diamond again this year, and these programs again moving into the 2016 club season. Two-0 pitch makes it a 3-0 count. Not what Kelsey Brodis was hoping for in her appearance here. The lefty, a little trouble finding the zone now. And it's going to bring us one more change. Morgan Ray is going to come back. So Brodis had an appearance to close it out with 1 out. She got 1 of the 2 she needed, but she's going to give the ball back here to Morgan Ray, trying to shut the door on this 5th inning, and this is the final frame of the game. So back to Morgan Ray, and I'm sure everybody in the park, including Morgan and her teammates, hoping for maybe just a couple of warm-up pitches. Don't need a lot, just make sure you're ready to go and let's get this out.
Yeah, we're running out of daylight quick here. Didn't think we would ever hit this point, but now we're just flirting with not being able to see the ball.
Nice long look. Sierra Nevada's off in the distance behind the trees. There's the third base dugout of the plus 13 team right now, up by 13 runs, Northwest Bullets. There'll be an awards presentation at the end of this one. They're waiting to get out there and get that. Bombers remembering to have a little fun themselves. Still partying in that first base dugout. inheriting a 3-0 count. Morgan Ray, no margin there. She throws one ball, and it's a bases loaded walk. So now Ray will get to start with a clean count to the next batter she faces. Miranda Price is going to step back in. Joe Rivera took the RBI walk. It's Miranda Price to the plate. Bouncer up the middle, seeing eye single is out over the bag. Miranda Price, runner coming to the plate, and will it end that way? Nope, ball flew loose. Had her on the tag try, but the ball pops out, and a couple of runs come home. Miranda Price claps the hands out at second base, and Scott Smith appreciates this grinding effort in the 5th inning by his team, back to a 19-9 score.
And now everything going the Bombers' way. Nice throw home. Tag goes to the front of the plate. It would be an out, but the ball slips away. Run scores, and the Bombers just keep going.
And now back to the top of the order, Kelby Fortenberry. Had the bat laying there by the plate. Catcher had the plate. Runner coming around the backside. His shoulder got up to make contact with the glove and ripped that out of the catcher's glove of Emily Preble. Here's a look at that backside slide coming around the bat and the backside of the plate. Didn't get the plate the first time.
And nice job blocking the plate. As we mentioned, would have been a sure out had that ball been secured.
Brianna Angel fought her way through that contact and found her way to the dish. Kelby Fortenberry with 2 in scoring position and 2 outs. Fortenberry, Mckenzie Herzog behind her. Kelby is one of those Texas A&M commitments, coming up on her senior year of high school. Shoots this foul left side. So the daylight situation, the ruling, and it's been discussed with both teams, and they understand the situation. If Bombers get back inside of the run rule range here, this is still it due to the light conditions, and there are no artificial lights here at Hickson Park. So if this game gets back inside of 8 runs right here, Bombers are still playing this as their last shot.
Fortenberry at the plate would be the run that does put them within that. So initially at the beginning of this, it looked like a huge mountain to climb for the Texas Bombers. They get that first runner on base, and they just have gone to work. They've been patient. They've gotten the runners on. They moved them over. They've been patient again. A lot of walks. And as we mentioned before, their summer's not over. So for them, it's going to be a victory. What they've done so far is just to get themselves back in this game and to keep that fight.
Yeah, getting a few more balls back into the bag behind the plate for Brad Ferguson. Kelby Fortenberry looking at a 2-2 count, 2 outs, deuces with 2 aboard. Ran through that, kept the bat tucked behind. Yeah, that run through on the slap looked like that is an important interpretation compared to, say, baseball. You can run through that all you want. You just got to keep the bat from breaking the plane of the plate, right, or breaking off your shoulder. Ball chopped to third. Could this be the clincher? Bullets get the throw across and get that third out. It took them a while, but the Northwest Bullets finally cap off this championship push. Morgan Spieth at third base played it and got it to Fillmore at first. Brady makes the catch on the putout to end the championship game. Congratulations. Texas Bombers taking second in the TCUSA Nationals, and it's that team right there. Northwest Bullets, the champions, 18-year-old bracket, 2015 Triple Crown USA Nationals. These Northwest Bullets out of Oregon. We will give you a couple of final thoughts when we return. It's a 10-run win for the Bullets, 19-9 over the Bombers.
Thank you, great show. I was yelling the whole time, so I thought it was live. He's like, no, you're good. Yeah, that's right. Go drink some beer. Nice.
Congratulations to our 2015 TCS National Championship.
That giant, shiny TCUSA Nationals Cup is going to go home with Northwest Bullets back to Oregon, 19-9. The score over Texas Bombers, and the big hardware will head to the Northwest with the Bullets winning by 10 this championship game of the TCUSA 18-year-old Nationals. Congratulations again to Texas Bombers on their great finish in this event. And they ran into a big problem tonight with those Northwest Bullets, putting up 19 runs, just 13 hits, and getting it done. Thad Anderson, Amanda Freed wrapping it up from Reno. Amanda, we played 14 innings in these two TV games, but 9 of those were in our first game. The 16-year-old game, just 5 innings here. We had a great first game, a 1-run grinder, and now the Bullets in style win it by 10.
Oh, we talked about all through the broadcast what it took to get to this point in this tournament. You had to fight all week long in order to get here, and all of these teams who were here earlier today, Sting, Oklahoma exclusive, congratulations to them for winning the 16 under nationals. Northwest Bullets here, congratulations to the Bombers for what they've done, and then for Triple Crown Sports again for putting on such a phenomenal event.
And our thanks to you, Amanda, for being with us. I'm Thad Anderson, and for our entire crew, this has been a presentation of Triple Crown Sports in association with CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. That's it from the TCUSA Nationals in Reno, Tahoe. Congratulations, Bombers are second and the champions, and our big congratulations to the Northwest Bullets, winners of the TCUSA Nationals 18-year-old Platinum Bracket.